Time is the most democratic resource in this planet. No matter where you are born, what language you speak, or what background you come from, you open your eyes every morning with the same 24 hours as anyone else. The difference between ordinary lives and extraordinary ones rests not in the hours themselves, but in the wisdom with which those hours are employed. Many people feel that life is unfair since they don't have enough chances. But the truth is, opportunities are formed inside the modest actions we make within those 24 hours. If you want success, the first thing you must learn is how to treat time as your greatest partner instead of your worst enemy. When you start valuing time more than money, you begin to comprehend life more thoroughly. Money can be lost and earned again, but once a minute is gone, it never returns. People that succeed do not usually have more resources. They simply preserve their minutes with the same care others protect their pocketbook. The morning is the most powerful time of your day. These early hours possess a particular peaceful enchantment that evaporates as the world really wakes up. If you learn to use this time for thinking, learning, and planning, you will begin your day ahead while others are still figuring out where to start. In the morning, your head is clear and your heart is tranquil. That is the right moment to set your direction. When you begin a day without direction, you conclude the day with regret. Use the early hours to match your energies with your goals, and you will find the rest of the day gets easier. Too many people wake up and immediately react to problems, messages, or noise. They devote their efforts into things that do not matter. If you wake up and open your head before you unlock your phone, you will obtain clarity that most people never experience. Learning should be a regular ritual, not an occasional decision. Even if you commit just 1 hour every morning to learning a new skill, reading a useful book, or studying something meaningful, after 1 year, you will outperform others who spent the year moaning. Planning your day in the morning is not a luxury. It is a must. If you do not arrange your hours, someone else will. The world loves busy individuals because they are simple to manipulate. But concentrated people manage their own environment. You must learn to filter tasks ruthlessly. Not everything worth your time. When people urge you to do anything, you must ask yourself whether it drives you toward your long-term goals or away from them. If anything distracts you, it does not belong in your 24 hours. Many individuals confuse movement for achievement. They think being busy means being productive. But going faster in the wrong direction merely exhausts you without providing benefits. Productivity is not doing more. It is doing what matters. If you want to manage your 24 hours well, you must learn to say no. Not because you are arrogant, but because you recognize that every yes is a commitment of your time, energy, and future. Saying no safeguards the path you are developing. Surrounding yourself with the proper people is one of the greatest methods to multiply your time. When you work with people who complain, you spend your time correcting their problems. When you deal with people that dream large, you spend your time building possibilities. Your success is defined not by how many people you engage with, but by the quality of those encounters. One discussion with a clever, driven, generous individual can spare you months of blunders. Choose your circle with intention. In your 24 hours, partnerships should bring value, not deplete it. Spend time with individuals who inspire you to improve, not those who drag you back into patterns you are trying to escape. Time spent with the wrong person is more expensive than money lost. A great use of time during the day is to focus deeply. Multitasking is one of the biggest illusions of modern productivity. Dividing your concentration magnifies your blunders. You must learn to dedicate your complete focus to one work at a time. When you work with full focus, 1 hour becomes more important than 10 hours of dispersed labor. You complete faster, you produce better, and you gain confidence. Focus is the new riches of the modern world. Eliminating distractions is a daily effort. The world will continually try to drag you away from your priorities. Every notification, every interruption, every pointless interaction takes away at your potential. If you safeguard your focus, you secure your future. Another essential to organizing your 24 hours is priority. Not all tasks bear the same weight. Real success comes from recognizing the small number of acts that yield the biggest outcomes and putting them at the top of your day. If you start your day by tackling the most difficult work first, you gain momentum. Once you achieve something tough, everything else feels easy. This little habit can transform your productivity forever. During your day, you will confront challenges. Instead of perceiving them as disruptions, View them as teachers. Every challenge you confront is an opportunity to become smarter, stronger, and more skilled. Time spent fixing difficulties is never wasted. However, do not allow every difficulty become your problem. You must learn to delegate. Trust others with responsibilities that do not demand your special abilities. Delegation is not a sign of weakness. It is a symbol of strategic power. In the afternoon, your vitality will naturally diminish. This is not a failure. It is biology. Use this time for things that demand less imagination, but nevertheless drive your aims forward. Do not waste your strongest hours on your weakest tasks. A strong strategy to organize your time is to separate your day into clear segments: studying, producing, executing, reflecting. When your day has structure, your mind grows sharper. When your day has no structure, your mind becomes fragmented. It is necessary to take pauses, but breaks must benefit your energies, not damage your discipline. A few minutes of rest can renew your thinking. Hours of distraction might steal your ambition. Know the difference. One of the biggest enemies of time is procrastination. People delay action because they fear failure, but procrastinating only ensures failure. When you hesitate, opportunities disappear. When you act, opportunities grow. You must learn to use fear as a signal, not a stop sign. If something worries you, it probably matters. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that your future is more important than your comfort. When you spend your time with confidence, you become unstoppable. You are no longer controlled by doubts or justifications. Instead, you become propelled by purpose and possibility. Another essential lesson is to avoid comparing your timetable to others. Everyone has a different route. Comparing your progress to someone else's timeline can only increase stress. Focus on your own everyday improvements. Every day, ask yourself whether your actions are reflecting your dreams. If your dreams are big, but your everyday routines are small, your dreams will never become reality. The future is constructed by the modest decisions of each day. Consistency is more potent than intensity. Working hard for one day changes nothing. Working steadily every day changes everything. Time favors those who show up frequently, not those who show up occasionally. Discipline is not a skill. It is a decision, and that choice must be made every morning. When you choose discipline, your 24 hours begin to work in your favor instead of against you. Remember that success is not about squeezing every second of your day. It is about aligning your hours with your purpose. When your actions reflect your values, time becomes your friend. You cannot manage your 24 hours properly if your head is filled of negativity. Worry, doubt, and rage waste mental energy. Protect your mind from toxic thoughts this the same way you protect your body from toxic food. Gratitude is an underestimated time management technique. When you recognize your opportunity, you stop spending time grumbling. Gratitude turns your emphasis toward action instead of excuses. One of the healthiest routines you can develop into your day is activity. A quick walk, a few stretches, or simple exercise may refresh your mind and rejuvenate your body. A healthy body promotes a productive mind. As you progress through your day, be conscious of moments of sloth. They frequently masquerade themselves as comfort. Comfort feels nice in the moment, but steals from your future. Growth feels uncomfortable, but gives to your future. Success demands sacrifice. You must be willing to give up temporary pleasures for long-term rewards. Time spent properly today becomes the foundation for the life you want tomorrow. Another great use of time is self-reflection. Without reflection, you repeat mistakes. With contemplation, you learn from them. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. In the evening, sit quietly with your thoughts. Ask yourself what you did well. Celebrate those moments. Recognition creates confidence and reminds you that development is achievable. Then ask yourself what you could have done better. Not to criticize yourself, but to guide yourself. Improvement begins with honesty. Afterward, think about what you will do tomorrow. When you conclude your day with a plan, you begin the next day with momentum. This is one of the most potent time management routines in existence. People often feel that success demands working every minute of the day. But true achievement requires respite. Rest is not a weakness. It is a strategic instrument. A weary mind produces lousy decisions. Sleep is the silent partner of productivity. Without it, your creativity dies, your memory fades, and your energy dissipates. Protect your sleep and your time will repay you. In your 24 hours, prevent emotional upheaval. When you allow emotions drive your actions, you lose hours to regret and overthinking. Be grounded, be cool, and stay focused. Avoid spending time trying to convince those who will never grasp your vision. Some individuals will never support you because they cannot see what you see. That is okay. Protect your energies by letting go of their approbation. Be patient with your progress. Great things take time and time must be managed with patience. Rushing leads to blunders. Patience leads to mastery. One of the greatest threats to your 24 hours is trying to complete everything alone. Collaboration multiplies possibilities. When you work with people, your time increases because your ideas expand. If you want to use your time effectively, learn from others who have already walked the path. Their lessons save you months or even years of trial and error. Learning from experience is smart, but learning from someone else's experience is genius. Your attitude plays a big effect in how your day unfolds. A good attitude converts obstacles into opportunities. A pessimistic mindset turns chances into difficulties. Preserve your attitude as diligently as you preserve your time. In every 24 hours, make time to help others. Helping others does not reduce your time. It expands your influence. Generosity establishes ties that money cannot buy. Do not judge your day by how weary you feel, but by how much meaning you generated. A meaningful day is significantly more useful than a busy day. As you manage your time, remember that technology is a tool, not a master. If you allow it control you, you will lose hours needlessly. But if you utilize it appropriately, it becomes a tremendous assistant in your daily life. Protect your mornings from noise, your afternoons from diversions, and your evenings from regret. When you plan your day consciously, time becomes something you shape rather than something that shapes you. Never underestimate the power of simple habits. A modest improvement repeated daily becomes unstoppable progress. Time magnifies little behaviors into enormous results. Understand that your 24 hours are not simply for work. They are also for growth, for rest, for connection, and for gratitude. A balanced existence is not established by accident. It is built by purposeful time choices. You must take responsibility for your day. If your 24 hours are untidy, your life will become messy. But if your 24 hours are purposeful, your life will become meaningful. The future you desire is concealed inside the hours you waste. When you stop wasting hours, you stop wasting your potential. When you stop wasting your potential, your destiny begins to manifest. No one can manage your time for you. Not your teacher, not your friend, nor your boss. Time management is a personal responsibility, and it becomes your biggest advantage once you master it. Every day is a new chance to manage your 24 hours better than you did yesterday. You don't need perfection, you need development. If you optimize your time utilization, even 1% per day, your life will shift. Finally, remember this time will either be your strongest ally or your toughest opponent. If you learn to respect it, safeguard it, and invest it correctly, it will unlock doors you never dreamed. Your 24 hours are your greatest gift. Treat them properly and success will come.